All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to 1-0. Thank you so much for joining me on another bright, shiny day. And what a video we've got coming up. Before we jump in, make sure to like, subscribe, do all that fancy nonsense. Share your friends, tell your mum, tell your dad, tell your dog, tell your auntie, whatever. Getting ready for a big year, 2021 nil next year, so let's get ready for that. Subscribe so you don't miss the content next year. You get me? Now, you would have seen by the thumbnail and the title, can Manchester United win the league? Yeah, you would have seen a couple last week. I had why I think Tottenham will win the league. Now I'm gonna say, can Man United win the league? You see behind me, there's a Marcus Rashford kid. I'm a United fan myself, so I'm gonna try and not be too biased on my opinions, etc. But if you have watched previous videos, you would see that United they cause a lot of heart issues to the man Costa Fruitus, to the man. Now, the title race this year, it's looking like a bit of a title race, but at the same time, it looks like Liverpool are going to take it away. Now, in my last video about Tottenham, I said, Mourinho knows how to grind out a victory, and I kind of feel partially to blame for their two recent performances because they lost to Liverpool and they lost at this morning to Leicester City 2-0, which then kind of puts them back a bit and then once again starts asking the questions, is the way they play and Mourinho's style, is it really helping Harry Kane? I think recently they've registered less shots than Sheffield United have. So when you've got the front two, like Son and Kane, like in the video I said about Tottenham, I said when those two are on, Tottenham are on, and Mourinho can play, etc. Check out that video if you want. But I want to focus on Man United because now we're seeing, we just beat Leeds 6-2. Now, we do score goals, but we also start poorly. Inside 3 minutes, Scotty 2 Hottie scored 2. And it started to look like, all right, this could be pretty interesting. I personally wasn't that confident heading into the Leeds game because like I was telling a couple of the boys, we start off so poorly and Leeds just attack. And they got to expose our defence to the max. But what kind of we saw here is that Leeds, if your midfield is on against Leeds, you can boss them, which was what happened today. Fred had a bit more time to roam. We saw McTominay score 2 goals, 2 brilliant goals too. Martial should have scored 3. I think today was a perfect example of Martial will never be a top striker in the Premier League. He lacks that killer instinct. I think if that was Cavani in the same situations as Martial, I think we add another 3 to that 6. But Martial's got 3 assists. He did well. He played well. But some of the chances that he missed, a striker of a club like Manchester United should bury. But again, I don't think people were going at me in the comments saying that it's too early to call Tottenham, it's too early to call, etc., etc. I think with United, the problem with United is, hell yeah, they can still win the league. Anyone can still win the league, technically. The problem is Liverpool had that period with all their injuries, Trent, Hendo. Well, Mane was gone for a bit. Salah was gone for a bit. Firmino was out for a little bit. There was, all these players were gone. Alisson was gone for a bit, and they didn't drop that many points. They lost to Villa. They came out and pumped Crystal Palace 7-0. They were fortunate enough to. I think that he was always going to do it, where he benched Salah at the start and then brought on Mane, took off Mane at halftime. So they're able to be that flexible in terms of resting their key players because they know that they're guaranteed a victory. But now with their players like Henderson coming back, Trent's been back for a while now, they're almost back to normal without the centre-back partnership that we know of Van Dijk and Gomez. However, on paper, Fabinho and Matip in defence, that's a better centre-back partnership than I'd say easily half of the Premier League. So again, not to say they should be winning, they should be easily winning it because we can't put past the injuries that they have had. But right now, Liverpool, they're back to full strength with quotation marks. Obviously, the Van Dijk and Gomez injuries are huge, but they've got a lot of the key pieces to the puzzle back into the squad. And they drew to Fulham last week, but to me, Liverpool don't look like they've got to drop points, which is why the questions that are being raised now is, can Man United still win the league? Because we're 5 points off Liverpool with a game to play. The one that hurts the most is that loss to Arsenal, because if we win that game against Arsenal, there's a chance we're on top after we play our game. I think it's against Burnley, the one that we missed out on the first week. So that one puts a bit of a dagger in the heart. But the key thing of why I think Liverpool and possibly Tottenham now also, like what we're seeing recently, is these teams' abilities to drop points. So an easy game for United. I mean, Sheffield, we got out of jail with that one at the end. Whereas Liverpool go into a game, they've got to win. And pretty much they're confident most games, they've got to walk away with the 3 points. United have got interesting fixture coming up. We've got Leicester City, which is big. They're in second position. Wolves, Aston Villa, and Liverpool. So those are some big fixtures. If we can walk away with a win against Leicester, a win against Wolves, a win against Villa, and then a draw against Liverpool, it's got to be very tough for United. It's got to be very, very tough. Paul Pogba was probably a bit disappointed not to start against Leeds. I think he would have bossed it. Give him a bit of free space in the midfield because Leeds just attack. But look, let me know in the comments, can Manchester United still win the league? I mean, it's a bit of a question where anyone can still technically win the league, but the likelihood of it happening, I'm not too sure. I know last week I made the video about Tottenham winning the league. Again, I'm not totally whopping them out. I'm thinking top 3 still for Tottenham. But the key thing for the clubs like Manchester United, I mean, Leicester City are second, so we shouldn't totally wash them out. The key things for Manchester United, Leicester, Tottenham, look, City, I think top 4 just for City. You know, Chelsea we're seeing also poor run of form. They've slipped down the ladder. The key thing for these clubs to battle Liverpool and make the Premier League once again a proper title race is the ability to not drop easy points. You know, go away from home, play difficult clubs like Burnley away from home, who you don't really go and play pretty football and score 3-4 goals, but go there, grab the 3 points, pack your bags, and adios amigo. You know, simple stuff like that where Liverpool can do. Whereas I still, as a United fan, I'm still not totally confident that every game we can go into and get the same points as a team like Liverpool or a Chelsea or a Manchester City every week. You get me? So leave in the comments, what do United need to do for the remaining of the season to make sure they stay up there and challenge Liverpool for the title? Can Man United win the title? I mean, if we win the title, if we win the Premier League this season, I'll tell you what, we'll have a special podcast. And it's got to be a special podcast. Leave it in the comments. If Manchester United win the Premier League in the 2021 season, leave it in the comments what you want me to do. You know, but for United to win, we've got to need this whole Pogba scenario to fix. Is he got to leave in January? I've always been a Pogba fan, but I'm also not oblivious to the fact that he has given us nothing of what we were expecting. But a player of his quality, I'd much rather stay at United. You know, I did a video last week, his top 5 Paul Pogba replacements if he does leave. Ideally, I don't want him to leave. But what his manager, Mino Raiola, whatever his name is, has said about the club, you come out and you just bring this unwanted stress to the club who already have their own struggles, mate. It's interesting. Is Ole still the man for the job? If he keeps winning, go for it. I think Pochettino has got to lick Borussia Dortmund up. I think Pochettino will thrive at Borussia Dortmund if he does get signed there. And I think it'll be good for him. Get out of the limelight a bit of the Premier League. Take Dortmund, do bits with him in the Champions League. I think that could be good. I think the striker's position for Manchester United is a bit of a worry, though. I think a clinical striker is needed. Erling Haaland, mate, we shouldn't have gone full at him. Throw all the money you want. Throw all this car too. But look, it's interesting times. The Premier League's good. The Premier League's gas. Hopefully, I can get a podcast with boys in the coming weeks or days even. Let me know what other videos you want me to do. Look, as a United fan, I'm gassed that our name's even coming up. But we got to keep a lid on it because maybe it's a bit biased towards your own team where it's like, nah, we're still not great. I still don't think we're that great, to be honest with you. But it's got to be interesting times. The Premier League's good. We'll get the watch-alongs back. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you enjoy. Let's try and see, as a Christmas present, what do you guys want to get for me as a Christmas present? I don't know, 350 subs. I think we're on 308 now. 350 subs for my Christmas present. And I love you all. Thanks for watching. I'm Costa. Deuces.